Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today in this video I am going to discuss the book review of the book Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. I'll be discussing the summary of the book and the aspects such as the my critical analysis, the writer perspective, and the impact it has created on the audience or the reader, and its impact on the society. So let's begin the review by the summary and description of the book. So in the book review, first you have to begin with the description of the author and the book. So let's begin. The book Ego is the Enemy is written by Ryan Holiday. It is an international bestseller book. Steve Pressfield wrote about the author that he is one of the finest thinkers of his generation, and this book is his best yet. And there is subheading that states that the fight to master our greatest opponent. Here, the opponent refers to the ego. And this is an inspiring and motivational book. Teach the readers how to manage the ego inside to focus on what really matters. It explores the negative aspect of the ego and its impact and effects on these several historical and contemporary figures. The authors describe the ego as the inner beast, an enemy, by quoting real life inspiring stories across the world to explain how it ruins life, turns struggles into shame, and becomes the cause of failure, suggesting how to be humble in aspiration, gracious in success, and resilient in failures. Rely on confidence, not the ego. Fight to destroy it before it destroy us. And the author begins with a painful prologue of his life, which states that I was trapped so terribly inside my head that I was a prisoner to my thought. Wherever you are, whatever you are doing, your worst enemy already lives inside you. That is your ego. At any given time in life, we are aspiring to something. We have achieved success, we have or we failed. When we remove ego, we are left with what is real. What is rare is not the talent, skill, or even confidence, but humility, diligence, self awareness, and a true student is like a sponge absorbing what goes on around him, filtering it, stick to what he can hold. A student is self-critical, self-motivated, always trying to improve his understanding so that he could move on to the next topic, the next challenge. A real student is also his teacher and his critic as well, and there is no room for the ego there. What humans require in our accent is the purpose and realism. Once we learn to manage the ego, then there is success and prosperity. And the book is broadly categorized into three parts that are named as aspire, success, and failure. And under those parts there are subheading subparts which are discussed there, and basically the crux is revolve around these three parts and thoroughly discussing the ego concerning those topics. So the part sections of the book, why the information is there from the writer perspective, and his purpose of writing, discussing those topics. So the book is divided into three parts which categorize the three possible phases of our lives where the ego can get out of control and takes lead to out of the path. The first one is the aspire, wanting to accomplish bigger and better goals. Second one is the success, achieving our goals and receiving public praise. Third, failure, failing from the grace and dealing with the internal resistance. And So let's discuss them thoroughly. The first one is the aspire. For each of these parts, Ryan Holiday extract valuable lessons that we can apply when we find ourselves in these phases of our lives. He covers how to think about goals, the right approach to relationship with others and ourselves, how to stay humble, how to deal with failure, and more. We aspire to achieve all these amazing things and destroy everything in the way, but unaware of the fact that the biggest obstacle is yourself. More specifically, the ego. The climb towards success creates dangerous opening from the where the ego can burst through in the attempt to go forward, acknowledging and go backward. We get in our heads and become impulsive and reactive instead of practicing patience and being present and practical. We want to be the ones in charge and do everything instead of helping and trust others. Therefore, we must know how to avoid and identify them in ourselves and other. And here are the main points made by the author about the ego and aspiration. Talk less and do more work. Get out of your head and danger of early pride. Second part of the book is the success. Success is intoxicating, yet to be sustained, it requires sobriety. The author, the writer, Holiday Ardad. This is the reference here, right? This at page 94. Countless are the successful people who work extremely hard to reach a position of power and influence to later destroy their lives because of their egoistic addiction. It is the reason for many failed businesses, relationships, and careers. And it is not like they attain this success then it is over. Maintaining that success is equally important. Remember, the ego only wants the short term pleasure associated with the success. It's greedy, selfish, short minded. How to avoid the behavior? Keep learning and improving. With success come the pressure to pretend we know more than we do. This prevents us from learning and gathering new information, eventually causing our downfall. And the third part of the book is the failure. Brian writes, failure takes away our plans and dashes them to pieces. So far, we saw how much the ego influences our actions and hurts our progress. Unfortunately, failure happens to everyone. Regardless of our ego, it's an inevitable aspect of our life. Therefore, we must know how to deal with it. Failure is already hard to deal with by itself, but our ego will hyperbolize the situation, making it even harder to bounce back from it. And the following advice will make you understand how important it is to maintain your sobriety during the turmoil, guaranteeing a safe and quick recovery to aspiration and success. Importance of the book for the reader, its impact on the reader and on the society. This book is for anyone. It's like a universal who is seeking humility, true confidence, and resilience, the one who is looking for the life advice. The content of the book is so inspiring that it compels the reader to read the entire book. It portrays real life stories with evidence to explain how ego has profound impact on life. The content of the book are practically applied to everyone's life, irrespective of age, profession, gender, caste, creed, anything. The concepts discussed in this book are universal, which are applied anywhere, anytime. After reading this book, it is found that it transformed many lives. I personally felt a change, a transformation in my life after reading this book. So it changed the perspective of life, the attitude and behavior changes are observed, and the people in the society have a lack of awareness about ego. Knowing this simple concept change life and society will be different. And this book provides a very compelling argument for why the ego hurt and also shares some practical suggestion about how we can manage our ego to make beneficial use of it. The cycle of life goes like this: we aspire till we succeed, and there comes the failure. So these are like a cyclic, this sequence of events are a cyclic events, and we stay successful until we fail, and we remain a failure till we pick ourselves up and start aspiring again. And my critical analysis of the book, what I have extracted from this book. Okay, so when this task was assigned for me to read any book, I was given the choice to read any book and write a book review. So what I did, I was very confused to which book to read. Also, there are a bunch of books, very good international bestseller books are there. I was confused about which book to read, and I go to the bookshop. After visiting bookshops for 2 days, I found this book, this amazing book. By looking at the title of the book, it attracted me, it compelled me so much that I never didn't stop myself to buy the book, although it prices high as well, but I managed to pay because it attracted me so much. I was compelled to read, and I was craving for it. Okay, and looking at the content page creates such an impact that, oh God, I must read it. I felt that the way this book is written is amazing. The style of the author is simple and comprehensive. The book is well written, divided into major parts and subparts to make a better comprehension for the readers. And they are arranged in a logical way, easy to understand. The arguments and sequence of ideas are maintained throughout the book. This book discusses thoroughly how ego can be an enemy if it is not managed, and how it is beneficial once we control and manage it in the right direction. The author discusses their own experience, a painful story in the prologue, a real life story, and later gives example of a renowned figures from the history, such as Alexander the Great, to make clear how ego leads to the downfall of the most successful people. Ego proves to be a benefactor if it is managed. It is the fuel for the self-esteem and confidence. It leads to such a massive success and prosperity. It brings discipline and order in life, brings standard to life, and forbid abandoning that standard. And once reading the book and getting the concepts, actions to be taken, and by practical implementation and execution of the ideas, a transformation take place, a revolution take place. This book is recommended for everyone who wants to bring a positive change in the life, especially for the students. Yes, it is specially written for the students. Many incidents are discussed there, focusing on the students. And I personally recommend this book for the student. They must read it, as we know that many of us are struggling daily with ego that is inside us. Everyone has a internal conflict with himself, a fight, a battle with himself that is very difficult. Even in the physical war, there is the enemy which is visible inside you. You can defeat it, but defeating the inner enemy, that is someone that is yourself, that is invisible, and it really hard. Most of people, yes, I believe, I bet most of people are struggling and fighting with themselves, inside themselves. It is the fight with the ego. Once we learn to manage that and conquer the this enemy ego inside us, we can change our life. I truly believe. So I personally recommend you this book. This is amazing, and it is available in the market, and I have the soft copy of the book. I'll provide you in the description the book review. I'll also provide you the book review in the description of this video. So hope you get some idea. Thank you.